Well, here it is next week. And as promised, we're going to talk about interest rates and what the impact is going to be, or what we think it's going to be for this year's selling season. So let's take a look. Well, let's get right into it. Mortgage rates. December, clear down 3.11. In March, 4.67. Remember at last week's video that I did with the spoiler alert? 1.5%. We haven't had that big of rise in interest rates since 1994. Quite interesting. So I'm going to show you what's going on and how things work. I'm going to have some reading slides, so please forgive me. I'll go over this really quick. This is from the chief economist, deputy chief economist with Freddie Mac. Mortgage rates are likely to continue to move higher throughout the balance of 2022. Although the pace of the rate increases is likely to moderate, maybe slow down, fingers crossed. Much of the increases in rates in early 2022 is in anticipation of what will happen later this year, later 2022, especially with the Federal Reserve interest rates policy. It's all smoke and mirrors. I don't have any answers, but I want you to start thinking about it. This is the impact of rising rates to home prices. You can see clear back we went back to 1993. Home prices increases, let's go, start date October 93 through December of 94, 14 months. Increase of interest to 2.38, but home prices increased 3%. Skip down to June 2003 to June 2004, interest rates increased a little over 1%, but look at the home prices. They increased 13%. So this is nothing new. This is a cycle we're going through again. Average for all of these years is 13% of what we see as far as increase of interest rates. That amount is almost 1.5%. And home prices go up 8%. So yes, we're going to see interest rates rise. And yes, we still see home prices increase. Impact of rates on housing. These are mortgage rates that have rose more than 1%. So let's go to 93 again. Home prices rose 3%. We showed that. But home sales was down 11%. June 2003 to June 2004, increase was a little over 1%. Home prices went up 13%. Home sales was at about 2% increase. So they didn't really go to the negative. What they're averaging out to be is that this could be a 13-month run. We started in the end of February, so this could be a 13-month run. Increases maybe about 1.5%. Well, we've already seen the 1.5%. Home prices have gone up 8%. Well, we know that the home prices in our little neck of the wood, northern Nevada, has gone up more than 8%. But home sales are going down 5%. And we can already see that in our market just with the last week's video that I did. So there's a good possibility that those sales prices will go down a little bit. This is from the Director of Forecasting for the National Association of Realtors. So while higher short-term interest rates will push mortgage rates up, I expect some of the impact to be mitigated eventually through lower inflation. Thus, I expect the 30-year fixed mortgage rate to continue to rise, although we aren't likely to see big jumps that occurred over the past few weeks. This was the end of March, so that 1.5% of increase in rates. Freddie Mac has this piece of information to talk to us about. History suggests that when rates rise, there is an initial bump in home prices as many move quickly to buy a home before rates increase further. But after that period, and there's no number of months, home prices slow. So we've already seen on that graph last week that people are starting to do price reductions. Freddie Mac analysis shows that 1% increase in mortgage rates result in home price appreciation that is 4 percentage points lower. We've kind of seen that already start. For instance, a 1% increase in mortgage rates would change a home price growth from 11% to 7%. What do I always say? We like to see about a 5 to 6%. So we might be into more balanced. Sure would be nice to have more inventory, wouldn't it? This is a graph that went clear back to 2016. We've been at this rate before. And we can we've all lived through it. I mean, look in the middle of that graph. Interest rates above 6%. I remember walking around at a home show and saying I thought I was all that in a bag of chips when I had a 6% home loan, because interest rates just a year before were at 7 and 8%. It's a cycle. We're in the middle of that beginning of the cycle. Wanted to go and show you just a little bit of information. Remember we talked about, I don't think that Reno sparks, and now across the United States, people are still shopping for homes. This goes back 5 Februaries, so back to 2019. And Showing Time is the company that we use to get permission to go in and show you a home. Look at the numbers. They've increased. They continue to increase. There is demand for homes to come on the market and get sold. Might not be quite as high as it was last year, but I think that you'll still be able to sell your home. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call me. We can talk about it. We can talk about your neighborhood, what you're thinking and what your plans might be. And I hope you found this informative. Want to get an idea of what's going on in the market, maybe what has gone on in the past? Check out my last videos. All right. I will see you next month. Thank you.